In your first 12 months as Mayor, should you be successful, how much time or emphasis would you place on reviewing and adapting current policies and procedures or those that are missing, which affect local businesses? Examples of this is the current lack of digital strategy, the CBD recycling system, and communication with businesses. Mark.
I think the need for change is so dramatic, and that the first thing to do is the mayor has to moderate and influence council to accept the need for change, because the mayor only has one vote. For me, the key thing will be going after the things that really matter and getting council buy-in to adapt the council's plan. The council works to plans, and there are these long-term plans, and it's like shifting a battleship. For me, the major issues to be addressed are issues connected to the council, and that is going to require significant buy-in from councillors and adoption of a new agenda, and that is going to take all of significant amount of effort in that first 12 months. So that's what I would be focusing my first 12 months on, is getting a plan for change that councillors buy into, getting them to buy into, and getting the first annual plan post the election to start to reflect some of those changes, to start to move the battleship in another direction.
I think for me, a lot of it is about continuation. I think we've started to build good relationships, particularly with the Chamber of Commerce, with the Council, and I think that's at a high level in terms of Mayor and Chief Executive. I think we need to continue to build on that. I think that's very much at an infancy stage and something we need to develop further. When it comes to things like digital strategies, look, there's no doubt about it that fibre networks and the like is going to be a really huge part of New Zealand's economy moving ahead. We've got to be in that game. We've got to be. There's been a change in government policy in the way that they see that over the last year or so, which has kind of disrupted our plans with that. But I think we need to get back on top of that. And again, met with Crown Fibre Holdings within the last couple of weeks to talk about that. I think Palmerston North can be a great sort of test market for some of those things, because we're a really good size for them to be able to look at good fibre networks and the like. So I think that's something we need to continue to explore. It's not about drastic change. I think we essentially are on the right track. We've got to keep fine-tuning, we've got to keep improving our relationships with our business community, assisting where we can. We've been holding business-friendly forums, particularly with the development community and otherwise, so that we can start to engage better with the business community to help facilitate this business sector to grow in our city. And I think it's about carrying on what we're doing, focusing on it more and doing it even better.
Oh, there's quite a bit there. As such, and of course digital is kind of up my alley, but now with digital, basically it can be hard to move council in this area, and a quote from overseas about how New Zealand councils work at times went something like this: Grant, you're going from 0 to 11,000 kilometres in 10 seconds, but these guys are struggling to go from 0 to 100 metres in 20 years. Did you take that in? Okay. So we really have to, a council have to be much more in sync with how the world is bringing on board these tools for us to communicate. Without communication, you don't have that increased knowledge. Without that increased knowledge and ability to, not so much about what we think, told what to think, but how to think. And the digital evolution is about increasing your ability to think outside your own community and make sure that you are keeping up with the times, so that you don't set in place something that is already outdated. So basically we just have to you need a council with that enjoys new strategies to take on, and we will get around those hurdles, I'm sure, if you get some bright faces on there with a bit of knowledge of growing up in the area too. It helps a lot.
Thank you.
Thank
Grant.
you.
Leighton?
Oh, back to the core part of the question. Well, I think it's as a initially a lot of time is going to need to be spent with a change or with a change of mayor, with the new team that's coming in anyway, and what their own views are on the various parts of the plan as it is, and it has to be a consensus in council before you can take it any further down anyway. And also involving the staff of the council. Remember, as I said, there's only one vote for the mayor, there's only one vote for a councillor. There is a very large team involved to try and reshape where they're thinking. As far as the digital service, well, Telstra Clear, with our redevelopment of the square and other surrounding parts of our CBD, have put digital cabling in under the footpaths at that point. It just needs now the next stage of initiative, which could be big business being involved rather than the council being involved in providing that technology to us. At the moment, the problem is the unbundling of telecom. In a city, the CBD recycling. If you're ever out at 5 o'clock in the morning, you'll see the guys that actually just need one more step, because most of us put our rubbish out around the city, so they've got a choice of where they put it, and it's usually in two ends of the truck anyway. But I noticed our street sweep this morning has spread diesel throughout the city, so I don't know how I'm going to clean that up. And something's broken down on it. I followed a trail all around town this afternoon. So I think it's a lot of stuff is, unless you've actually been on the council, we're looking at where we hope that things can go to and to improve in the future. Thank you.
I think to be honest, actually, I will spend if elected, which is basically in a realistic way, I think I don't have any chance. So if I go into the council, then I have a talent, I have everything which a council needs, then I will actually build my relationship with the Chamber of Commerce and see what is their problem and how can we resolve those problems. I will also see what's going around with digital things and CBD recycling, and we will tackle those issues with the public decision making. We'll get some feedback, but for some time I will spend actually my own time to take my case to the United Nations because I'm chasing up that case. So if you guys want to spend some money, because you are business community, and then like what's a name for that guy who just got out from the legal channels in Christchurch? Sorry? Yeah, David Bain. So he has got one sponsor, and can I please get one sponsor, because my lawyer is working to take to the United Council of Human Rights.
Thank you, Ashad. I'll
No,
stop
I'm
you
not
there.
joking actually.
Thank you.
Reviewing, you never stop reviewing. Once you stop reviewing, you're that slow ship that gets sunk. We're already taking on water. We should be reviewing all the time. The last one, communication, you should always be talking to business people, talking to the people on the shop corner, everybody. As for a digital strategy, we're so far behind the 8 ball, that's beyond funny. Whenever we dig up a road, we should be communicating with all the services so that road is done in one hit and doesn't go back. The amount of times that we re-rip the road up within 2 years is just silly. Recycling, pretty much everybody's lazy. I'm one of them. It's got to be made easier. The recycling bin's a brilliant start, but we are a little bit behind the 8 ball. Most people are still throwing their stuff away, so we need to probably, if anything, have the big wheelie bins, put everything in the wheelie bins, have them taken to a depot somewhere, sort it out at the depot. They do that in the States. They get a huge amount of recycling. They're even doing it in some of the big cities like Christchurch. we need to catch up.